Well, here we are, Monday morning in Angeles City, our Philippine journey. I tell you, it's been an unusual week, a little different than what we usually run into, but at the same time, it's been good. I don't think we'll see much in the way of participants today. We didn't really get this out, advertise it as much as we could have or should have. We're still learning, still flipping one by one, trying to get things figured out. Good morning, Scott. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping by. That's very nice of you. How are things going out there where you are? But it was an interesting evening. Good morning, Mike. How you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. John Chittick. Where are you from, John? Welcome. Thanks for showing up. Wow, people are actually showing up. Wow, I'm quite impressed. Mike Simpson. Good morning, Mike from Kansas. How you doing? How are things out there? I'm sure it's another beautiful day. It's going to be a very nice day here for a while. We have a tropical depression floating out off the east coast of Luzon, and we'll see how that goes. California Bear, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Bruce, how you doing, Bruce? Things going well down in Florida today, I hope. That's for sure. Lloyd Guarns, good morning. Where are you from, Lloyd? How are you today? Matthew, good morning from Jacksonville, Florida. My ticket for 5-month trip is 12/29. Wow. It's getting close. Getting close, Matthew. Ricky Lee, how you doing, Ricky? Well, hit the like button, California Bear says. Well, thank you. That's certainly something we certainly appreciate. Scott says, I'm in LA waiting to unload tomorrow. Unload from a truck, unload what? Ricky Last. Good morning, Mike. How you doing, Ricky? Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Ricky Lee from Richland, Washington. Scott in the world as I see it. Oh my gosh, Scott. Nice of you to drop in. Thanks so much. How's the boating business going? You staying busy, I hope? That's the best we can do, I guess. Lloyd's from Olongapo in Zambales. Well, that's actually very nice. You know, Arlene went camping down in Zambales about 4 or 5 months ago with a group of her good friends. Robert, the old canoe. There's a guy to watch, that's for sure. On our way to Bato, have you in Mobile. Have a great day live, Mike. Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you very much. Mike Ross, how long have you been living in the Philippines? Well, we have been living on and off, in and out since 2013 and full-time since 2018-19. We used to live a couple months in Makati, then a couple months in the U.S., back and forth. So we've been around for a while. Scott says, yes, a semi-truck, long haul. You know, that's got to be an interesting job to see, the whole United States. The old canoe on Mobile. Don't worry about it, Robert. Enjoy it. Hope you're having a good trip today. Scott, in the world as I see it, very busy. 7 more days of work, then heading your way. That's what Ricky says. Well, great. Good deal, Ricky. We can't wait for you to get here. I hope you'll drop by. Brent's World. Brent, good morning. I really had to laugh at Brent's video when his wife Miles was upset about the dog chasing the cats from around the property and getting into her garden. It's kind of funny. But anyways, so it's been a kind of interesting week. I'll be honest with you. We've been really kind of busy doing normal stuff around things that we have to take care of, things that we have to deal with. I spent a lot of time on the phone with my daughter this week, getting through and talking to her about a bunch of different issues and options that she has now. Let's see here. Last night was interesting. That's for sure. Brent says, honestly, over the road driving is a hard life. I imagine it's physically taxing. I really do. James Gilbert. Good morning, James. How's things going down in your neck of the woods? Hope you're doing well. So, anyways, we've been trying to make some changes and do some things that elevate the content and the delivery of the content in the channel. So it's been a big week of research, trying to learn different software and trying to look at different presentation methods. So we stayed really busy with that. Last night we went out to dinner with a group of friends, and they all decided they wanted to bar hop for a little bit, even though it was raining. So we did. We didn't stay out late. I think we got home like 9:30, 9:45, something like that. But I tell you, last night was very strange. It really and truly was. Our friends that usually drink to excess did not. But our friends that usually are very conservative in their drinking weren't. So it was a whole different side. It was interesting. So, but it was nothing special, nothing outrageous to report with that. That's for sure. The big news this week was Johnny Somalia. Hector Gubert, another 45 days until the next threat of government shutdown. You know what, Hector? I get pissed about that. Everything that they do really hurts the middle class far more than it hurts them. This political grandstanding from everybody. I'm not picking on one side or the other, but it is a pain in the ass to watch from here. And there's so little anybody can do. Copal, nice to see you. Louisville, Kentucky. I've been there once, many years ago. Went there for a meeting, actually. But Copal have made some really interesting comments on my last video. I thought it was really good comments and some good advice, actually. Dardos, how are you? Buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? Dardos has been around since the very beginning of our lives. He's a really nice guy. James says, I'm broke, need a bank run this morning. We keep extra cash here, but we're going to need to do a bank run this week, that's for sure. I'm waiting to see now that you know what? I've never figured out what drives the peso. When the stock market goes up, does the peso go down? When the stock market goes down, does the peso go up? I've never been able to figure it out. It's, here, there, whatever. So, but yeah, same thing, James. We're going to have to make a bank run sometime this week. John Morrison, good evening from Dasma Cavite. I don't know where Dasma is. Are you very far from Maragondon? We have some really good friends that have a place down in Maragondon. In fact, they were out with us last night. They were part of that group that usually doesn't drink, but did. We went to Tequila Reef. Arlene and one of her friends had one of her friends join us last night. Really sweet young lady, and it was a interesting evening out. What can I say? Ruby, how are you? Hope your husband's doing well. Hope you enjoyed your trip. I had the pleasure of meeting Ruby and her husband when they were here visiting, preparing for their eventual retirement and move. I like Ruby. Ruby is very to the point. I like that. She doesn't really beat around the bush, and that's a very honorable position to take. It really and truly is. John says it's a few hours away, so that would be Maragondon would be a few hours from where he's at. And I think it takes our friends about 4 hours. They hire a private car every month and go down to their place in Maragondon. Our friend's family, his wife's family is from Maragondon. So we see them. Interesting news this week with the Philippine Coast Guard removing the barriers and the rhetoric between China and the Philippines. This is interesting. Dardo says, follow the dollar index. If it goes up, it usually means more pesos for your dollar and vice versa. I'll have to take a look at that, Dardos. Maybe I'll try and figure out what will... I've never followed the dollar index, but I'll do some research on it and try and figure it out. Kevin Agee, great time slot for a live for you. It works very well for me. I don't think it works well for some people, and I understand that. And when we start the members' lives, we're going to do those at a different time to try and give some opportunities. Which reminds me, for those of you that would like to support the channel, membership in the channel is now open. The members section is now open. I know it's a very controversial subject, but when I look at all the YouTubers that are getting beat up and canceled, it's not about the money. It's the fact that that's where YouTube is pushing and pushing and pushing channels to go. So we'll go that direction and we'll do the best we can. The first members video will drop later this afternoon, and we'll go from there. Mike says, what's the best way these days to send money to the Philippines on a regular basis? Well, it depends on how much and how you are. For those of us that live here, the best way is the simplest way for most of you to do it for the least amount of money is to probably use like Wise. For others, it's always a little different. I've got a video on that. If you'll go down and look, there's a video about using China Bank. It especially works if you're here. Matthew, good time for a live as NFL games are over, except sad matchup coming on soon. Ha. Todd, how are you doing? Became a member. Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate the support because it just shows that people appreciate what we do. Todd, when are you coming back? Are you coming back anytime soon? Ruby says U.S. to Philippine varies depending on the dollar reserves of the Philippine government. When OFW remittance is high, the exchange rate is lower and vice versa. There you go. And Ruby's smart. I mean, she is like really smart young lady. What's the cost of your man? Do we get wristbands like the bar girls? Kevin, I hate to say it, but there are no wristbands. Membership, I think, is like $1.99 a month. That was the least amount I could do to break even. And when I say break even, you got to remember, I'm going to get charged tax. And everything that we do that makes money hits my Social Security benefit. So that was the least possible amount that I could do it and make that work. There you go. Todd Shelia, $1.99 a month. There you go. Todd's got it. He understands. He just joined. We hope that some of you will join. I'm trying to think of what else is bothering me. I'll tell you, China is bothering me. And it's not this military thing. The economy in China is falling through the floor. I saw a really interesting blog the other day that the Chinese from mainland China are going to Hong Kong because the banking in Hong Kong is different. They're getting 7, 8, 9% on savings accounts at the banks there. And then compared to in mainland China, like Bank of China, not to be confused with China Bank, but Bank of China, they are only paying like 1%. James, the wristband idea, good idea. You know what? Maybe if I ever figure it out, we can do wristband merchandise. I don't know how all of that works. I have no clue. I wish I could just buy a bunch of them and just give them to you, to be honest with you. Matthew just became a member. Wow. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Wow. I didn't expect that. Thank you. Not that Matthew, but I just didn't expect to get members this morning. Daniel, our first member. Daniel Netz was the first person to subscribe to memberships. And we're eternally grateful for it. Dardos, you get a little digital wristband with your name when you comment. Okay. That ought to be kind of cute to do. Todd, Mike and Arlene, I was planning for March 24th. Looks more like January until I can come back. Wow. Are you talking about like January 2024? Oh, okay. There you go. 2020. Yeah, let's hope. I met Todd before. He and I spoke and didn't really even know each other before I got to know him somewhere else in another channel where I came across him. I think it was at breakfast at Tequila Reef. I want the top status color. James, I got to tell you, you're not getting much more for being a member than non-members. I'm not going to lie. I really and truly am not. Oh, wow, Todd, 2025? Oh, I wish you could get here sooner. Maybe you'll find a way to come over for a couple of weeks and enjoy yourself. Um, I'm running into a problem on the membership side, and I'm just going to be very honest. All of the content that we make, I believe in. I really do. I take effort. Arlen does research. We do a lot of different things. We believe in it. And I'm having a problem coming up with content that I don't want to share with everybody. I feel like I'm holding back. And I just don't, so it's difficult. I want you to know that. We're going to put we're going to put content in the members area that we know is not going to be monetized, that we know we're going to get penalized on, and that is a little bit more unfiltered and raw. That's the whole idea. Kevin, seems like last week news was the poor robbing the poor. You know what? It has been. I don't know whether it's the Oh, that's right. Wait a second, Kevin. Yes, Todd, you're right. It was at ABC. Now I remember. I remember now. The poor robbing the poor. Philly in the Philippines did a video, I don't know, maybe last week, something like that, where he interviewed, there's this old lady, and we see her all the time. And she sweeps up the area up and down Walking Street. She, from the barangay. I'm sure she gets a little money from the barangay. And she's old. She's absolutely old. And somebody robbed her. Filipino robbing her. It happens everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. California Bear just became a member. Wow, I'm going to feel guilty now. Thank you, California Bear. I really appreciate it. Matthew, is there anything to do or see in Pagansina and that general area? You know what? I got to be honest, Matthew. We're not real familiar with that, but I will tell you this. There's something to be seen everywhere in the Philippines. It just depends on you. There's always something to be seen. There's history. There's culture. There's beauty. There's bar girls. I mean, there's always something. Copal says China's going to cause problems to the global economy. Decoupling cannot happen quick enough. Vietnam and India, big winners so far. PI could do themselves some favors and get a part of that pie. And Copal is absolutely correct. Absolutely. Yeah, the grandma of Walking Street. She's something else. Margie Ovida, I hope I said that correct. I hope you're doing well. Where are you from, Margie? Tell us. Kevin, they also tried to rob Junior at Astro Park as he was on Chubb's channel. Yeah. None of that strikes me as strange. We're always careful. We've never felt like we were in danger. We've never felt like we were having in an area where we had to be concerned, but we're always careful. We have pretty much what you would call situational awareness, of our surroundings. Florida man, what's up? What's shaking? Not much. It's Monday morning here, and we're kind of recovering from last night. We went out last night to dinner and then out and bar hop just a little bit. Chris, good morning, Mike and Arlen. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you. Good to see you. I had a very unusual thing last night. Arlen and I and her friend and one of the guys we hang out with, and one of the couples we hang out with quite a bit. There were more of us, but we were kind of in a row walking up Walking Street as we had left one of the bars, and a subscriber walked up to me and introduced himself, but he was getting a phone call and he had to run. So if you see this, let us know who you were. We'd love to meet up with you if you're still here. Todd, Mike, I'm working for high quarterly averages for my pension. Can't stop now or my average goes down. I have 3 years till I can retire. Todd, you're doing it the right way. You know what? Patience, planning, and you'll be able to live so well here. You're just going to. And I understand exactly what you mean. Next, Kevin says, next, someone just going to homeless Anna Carr where she lives and rob her there. It's so senseless trying to rob Junior and Grandma. You know what, Kevin? You're right. Absolutely. Pangasinan is 100 islands, and Bolina are located. Beautiful beaches and less crowded. You know, all right, so I didn't know that, Ruby. I didn't know that's where that was. I do know that 100 Islands is on our list. That's one of the trips, the local trips that we're actually thinking of doing. James says most American high tech all already left China. Yeah. I saw a documentary the other day where a couple of analysts sat down and figured out that there are enough empty condos in China right now to house the entire Chinese population. I'm not sure what the disclaimers on that were. Dardos, at Matthew, go to Calicio, best puto in the area. There you go. There's one stop. Matthew says, thank you. Really, messing with Junior, Todd, they must be real creeps. Absolutely. You know, Junior's a great beggar, but he's not. He's harmless, and he's not aggressive. Why they would rob him, I got no idea. Kevin says 69 Rock Bar seems to have new staff, seems to be picking up in business. You know, Kevin, we've only been to 69 Rock Bar once. We had a bad experience there, but I'm willing to give it a try again. Hector says the new airport being built in Bulacan gets flooded after every significant rain. They better hire the best Dutch engineers to keep the water out. Yeah, they better. They absolutely, and Bulacan, that area has always been known for that. It's always, and they're building it right there at the sea level. So either they're counting on, I don't know what they're counting on, but it certainly is something else. Wow, 45 people in the room, 23 thumbs up for a little channel like ours. That's outrageous. Thank you so much. Mike says thieves live everywhere. Can't escape them all. No, you can't. Todd says, thanks, Mike. My thoughts exactly. You're right, Todd, though. Man, do it the right way, Todd, and you will live like a king anywhere you want in the Philippines. Kevin says, correct, but I have common sense to rob someone that's known to have money, like the Koreans that make it rain on Walking Street from like 5 to 5. They certainly do. That's for sure. We actually saw an instance of that last night. Chris says, I believe Grandma's name is Elma. She's 74 years old. You know what, Chris? I think you're correct. I do believe you are correct. And Kevin says he thinks you're correct also. Copal says, wonder if these robberies are picking up because things are getting harder there. Prices going up for everyday items going up that quickly. You know what, Copal? I think it's a combination of many of those things. I really and truly do. I think number one, you have inflation. Number two, you have a lack of jobs. Number three, you have the price of, inflation, like I said. And then it's just, the way certain things are. But it's like that in the U.S. too. I mean, there are places in the U.S. you just can't get away from it. Hector, what do you think will happen to condo prices in the Phils when China's economy finally tanks? Right now, it's being artificially stabilized by duct tape by the CCP. Yeah, Hector, it is. And that's why interest rates at the banks in mainland China are so low. You've got a huge real estate debacle going on there. Multiple Chinese military leaders have just disappeared. Several other are under investigation. It's going to get ugly there before it gets better. Stardust says it's the Burr months. Thieves need Christmas presents. Indeed, they do. And it's the time that that we're careful. Paul, not in the Philippines. Is this Jasper in 20 years at Todd? I don't know. You know what? People are just what they are, and whatever their niche is what theirs. We don't get involved in a lot of that drama. I drop by Jasper's live streams once in a while when I have time. I wonder if Jasper sometimes isn't the face of, or one of the faces of, younger guys coming to the Philippines in the future. I don't know. I really and truly don't. Co-ed showers. When I was there a few weeks ago, a local told me the drug problems are coming back because Bonbon isn't as hard on druggies like the last president was. I don't know. It's certainly a possibility. We don't see it, quite honestly. None of the people that we're involved with are in that lifestyle. None of the people that and places that we go, do we see it. We just don't see it. Mike Simpson, I heard thieves are coming out during the holiday season. Todd says, Paul, are you a comedian? And Paul says, depends on the day. Well, I do understand that. Is the pizza at 69 Rock Bar really good? We wouldn't know. We waited 45 minutes, and then they brought the wrong pizza, and we just simply paid for it and left. Didn't even eat it. It was cold when we got it. You know what? I don't want to talk about it. Every restaurant has a bad day. So, Hector, to our Latin friends, puta doesn't mean what you think it means. It's rice cake here in the Philippines. Yes, indeed, Hector. Co-ed showers. I didn't see many drug users there either, but maybe that could be contributed to the thefts. Absolutely, it could be. And it could be that we don't hang out in those areas. Those are not areas that, expats go to generally, in my opinion. Jasper's been better recently. There are plenty of other folks that are much worse. Actually, Copal's absolutely correct. There are plenty of good and bad YouTubers. Ruby says, is anyone into surfing? Then Balear Quezon is the place to go when in Luzon. Yes, I've heard about that before. I've heard it's actually very nice. At Paul, Todd says, good one. Both are great guys. It's a compliment to Jasper for sure. Todd will pay $10 to boot me. No, I don't think so. We're not in a drama situation here, Paul. And I've always found Todd to be a really reasonable guy. When shit starts slinging, we just ignore it. We really and truly do. Wow, 47 in the room. 51 is our record. We've never gotten more than 51. Geraldine Weibel. Mike, my husband and I have been watching you. Can you please shout out to my husband, Ed? Thank you, from Pennsylvania. Ed, if you're listening now, for sure, Ed Weibel, welcome. And I really appreciate you watching. And you know what? I'm going to write that down. And in my next video, we'll do a shout out to you for sure. Ed, Waibel. There we go. We'll even put it in a video for you. Paul says wrong channel. Go, Paul, define better. Well, I guess it's maybe in the eyes of the beholder. Only extreme social retards are booted. Yeah, you know what? I did a video on pissing off YouTubers. And I didn't realize until all of the comments were coming in that I really didn't label it correctly. I wasn't talking about us getting pissed off. And I wasn't talking about I'm pissed off at them. I was talking about, hey, if you want to piss off a YouTuber, that's the easiest way to do it. Comment on his stuff without listening to it, and then see what happens. And what I mean by see what happens, I mean it's the interaction with it, for sure. Dennis, watching from Bermuda, and love my Kent. Well, thank you, Dennis. Thank you. I got a really good comment the other day. People want to see Arlene participate on camera more. A lot of you don't realize how much Arlene actually puts into this channel. She helps me quite a bit. She really and truly does. It's not her labor of love like it is for me. It's not her hobby, but she's there. But yes, we'll start getting Arlene in more. Paul, I mostly just watch his shorts and he's out and about showing BGC and not creeping on the beach. Well, hey, the beach is the beach. I like to sit on the beach and watch people. That's for sure. Oh my goodness, what have we got here? 44 and 36. So yeah. So anyways, so our first members only video will drop this afternoon. Our first members only live stream is going to be, I think, next week. I'm still waiting for a few more votes to come in. And then I'm going to do another post on the community board to find out from members. And I'm trying to figure out, is there a way that I can actually send members messages? I don't think YouTube allows me to do that. I don't think they do it to where I can send an all members message, but you never know. Paul says, it seems Expat Trash has changed the way his videos are made. I have no idea. I don't watch them. You know what? I mean, I've seen a couple of their stuff. There's like a couple of Expat Trash channels now, it seems like. Or it seems anyways. And then there's some that are opposed to them. I don't watch any of them. Only because I have enough things to do to deal with it. Florida Man, you'll probably pick up more subs with Arlene on. Yeah, probably. She's a lot nicer to look at than I am. That's for sure. And sometimes she can be funny. Although Arlene's English is very good, she will struggle once in a while with a word or an enunciation. I give her really, if you ever see her in a live, make sure you ask her, what's in your pocket? Okay? When she first came to the U.S., Arlen could not pronounce pocket. And she would say, I would say, hey, Arlen, what did you do with the change from so-and-so? In my fuck it. My fuck it. And it took forever for us to get that fixed. WhatsApp might be the way to message members in masses. Yeah, Paul, it might be. Copal says, Arlen seems to have a nice sense of humor. Definitely personal choice. I would never want to be on videos. Yeah, Arlen has a great sense of humor, to be honest with you. Not only that, but she's smart. And, I couldn't ask for anything more than that. I really enjoy, she's just really a great, great wife. So I can't complain. So that's pretty much all I could say about Arlen. She's very dedicated to her family and to me. California Bear says YouTube used to have a IM email section. Seems it got taken away. Maybe make a short to message the members. There's another idea. Absolutely. We're looking at all kinds of things. Oh, it's funny. I did the Johnny Somalia video. And in the beginning of the video, I said, you know what? Watch it before it gets deleted, because I know it's going to be demonetized within minutes. That video got demonetized less than 30 seconds after we posted it. And then I sent them a message saying, I don't agree, blah, blah, blah. And 4 days later, after all the views, they said, oh, it is suitable for advertisers. Todd says, Mike, I had a Filipino drill instructor. He called us pucking rocks. There you go. It's A-J-E. Those are always words that get a little bit confused. Not words, but letters that they get confused on the pronunciation with. And I think it's because of their language, especially for Arlen. She was raised, for her, she learned English and Bisaya at school, and then more English on TV, and then Tagalog on TV. So there's a whole lot there. She knows more languages than I do. That's for sure. I can make my way around in Mexico on my Spanish, but it's not great. And here, here my language skills in Tagalog are terrible. Hate that they protect folks like that and give strikes on silly stuff. Google is weird. Yeah, we got all of our Fiesta Province videos were demonetized. Something to do, I think, with the fact that there was, it showed the slaughtered pig that was already dressed, clean, but and then they showed us roasting the pig, and they demonetized all of it from when we were in the province. In fact, Arlen's got we have something else going on too. So it looks like Arlen's sister might be getting married. So we're trying to figure out arrangements for that. Arlen's going to be heading back to the province around Christmas time to spend a little bit of time with her family. I'm not going to make this trip this time. PETA. Yeah, I imagine PETA had a big thing to do with it, Copal. Hector says, Todd, what do you call two Filipino pilots? A pair of pliers. Cute and funny. Chris says, Johnny Somalia should have gone to North Korea and try to pull that BS and then see what happens. Yeah, you know what? I don't get into these. I mean, apparently there's a big market on Twitch and TikTok for these harassment live streamers, and I don't get it. But I guess maybe I'm old. I don't know. Wow, 36 in the room, 37 likes. That's great. That is great. Um, do you ever go to Midnight Rodeo? Kevin wants to know. You know what? I've only been once, and it was years ago. Um, oh my God. Um, Only been once to Midnight Rodeo. Arlene, when she goes out with the girls, sometimes they go to Midnight Rodeo because they like the barbecue guy, this guy that cooks on the streets over there by him. Todd, so generous of you. I didn't even know my super chat thing was working. Um, I haven't gotten one in so long, but thank you. You'll definitely go towards the Halloween candy. That's one of the things that we're actually doing this week. We have to get candy that's individually wrapped. And I'll tell you why. Last time we did Halloween candy, we bought bags of candy, and what happened was it had rained earlier that evening, and these kids were getting candy left and right, and we were throwing it, and it ended up on the ground, and the kids were picking it up off of the street, Walking Street, which is a filthy, filthy street, picking it up off the street and eating it. And it was like, no, we can't do that. We just can't do that. Copal, don't get sick like last time. No shit. I can't believe I did that. But you're right. I took that fall and then I got sick. It was horrible. Dr. Leyway, another expat vlogger, went to a lechon festival and showed rows of glistening whole hog roasting on spits. He was complaining about being demonetized. Yeah, there you go. Same issue, except ours was just one pig and it was in the backyard. Hector, you funny murder bucket. You guys have a Twitch and TikTok may be paying more now or something and less strict live stream. I don't know. I don't do Twitch. I don't do TikTok. Arlen watches TikTok. I don't watch either one of them. Excuse me. So that was something else. Paul, not in the Philippines. Smiley face. Todd, only when I go piss in the lake. Okay. And Hector says, and he didn't catch any. Florida Man says, we first discovered you guys 5 months ago when you went to the Landers grand opening. Yeah, that was an attempt in futility, to be honest with you. Although I like Landers, I like Landers. I will tell you, we really prefer the meat selection at S&R better. But Landers actually has more stuff. No viewer was booted due to Dodd's donation. No, why would we boot anybody? That was very generous of Todd, that's for sure. Extremely generous. The kids are going to love that. Anyways, so let's see here. What else? The Philippine Coast Guard's been chopping up the barriers that the Chinese put out. What was it I saw? Taiwan launched its first home-built submarine. Now, I don't mean like a homemade submarine. I mean designed, developed, and built in Taiwan. Diesel electric, not nuclear, but that's got to be pissing the Chinese off for sure. Absolutely. So what else is going on? Paul says Twitch may be a good idea if YouTube ever gets canceled. You know what? if YouTube gets canceled, then I'll pick up another hobby. It's just that simple. John B., like your videos. Where can I find authentic Filipino sites? Which is the cheapest city with less humidity for a few months? Wow, John, that's kind of a loaded question. Baguio has a lower humidity, but I mean, don't judge your trip based on humidity. Look at things based on what there is there to keep you attracted to that area. What is there for you to do? That's pretty much, the most important thing. I mean, we have high humidity here in Angeles City. But I mean, it's a tropical island. You're in the tropics. John, where are you from and when are you coming? Kevin, did Tequila Reef open the upstairs? Yes, the upstairs is open at Tequila Reef. Absolutely. And they did a very, very good job. I was just talking with Mike, the owner of Tequila Reef, the other night, and he was telling me he was very pleased with it. Very, very pleased. So, in fact, that's where we went to dinner last night. We went to Tequila Reef. Paul says, your channel gets canceled. You know what, Paul? If our channel gets canceled, it gets canceled. I'm not going to try and learn something all over again. It's the learning curve, and trying to change things for YouTube for us has been enough to learn. 49 in the room, 42 thumbs up. That's outrageous. Wow, 48 in the room now. Thank you. Have you seen that Big Joe vlogs? He goes into the videoke and girly bars all over Manila, Angeles, Subic. Does 45-minute videos. Actually, not only have I seen it, we were leaving for dinner last night, and he was sitting on one of the couches with a couple of girls in the lobby of Candy Palace. I don't know. Maybe he's staying here. I have no idea. I don't know. John, thanks for your reply. I'm from Canada, planning in January, looking to meet Filipino women. Well, John, there's a lot to that. First off, where in Canada are you from? It'd be interesting because I have a funny story about Canada. Actually, a couple. And then, secondly, there are plenty of good women to meet in the Philippines. Kevin says, did you see Miko's is now another girly bar in the downstairs? Yes, I absolutely did see that. And we'll stop by, because Chubbs and Ann's, one of the management team there, and we'll go by and show some support. Ruby says low humidity areas in Luzon and Baguio, Mount Provence, and Tagaytay. You know what? I didn't know Tagaytay was low humidity, Ruby. Thank you. Congratulations, Mike and Arlen. Well, thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. My middle-aged adventures. Hello, I just moved from Pensacola, Florida to Imus City, Cavite. I'm coming to visit Angeles soon at the end of October. Well, then you need to drop us an email and we'll exchange numbers and we can meet for lunch, breakfast, coffee, a drink, whatever. Absolutely. We'd love to meet you. Todd, I'm like a bad penny. I don't think so, Todd. Big Joe is asking for trouble. I can say that. Yes, I think he is. But I also saw a video from him that he's going back, that he was having some health issues, saying he had malaria, and he's going back to wherever it is he's from for more treatment. He says, I'm from Toronto. John says he's from Toronto. Okay. Well, I know I'm going to say this wrong, and I know Toronto is nowhere near, but not far from Montreal, there's a small town called Bromptonville. It's on Lake Brompton. I've actually been there several times as a kid. My mother's family immigrated from France over the years there. So, hey, Paul Bax. Hey, Paul, how are you? Nice to have you here. I don't recognize you, though, but Todd apparently does. So, hope you're, thank you for dropping in for sure. Where are you from, Paul? Chris, I had lunch at Miko's with Adrian, shout out guy. The sliders and the pizza was decent. Yeah, I would give them a little bit more time to get their kitchen straight. Holy shit. Paul Bax, another $10 super chat. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. That'll go towards our Halloween candy for the kids. I mean, you know, it's the one thing we Halloween is always been the one real fun thing for me. And we love sharing with the kids out on Walking Street. And we'll do a full video on that. Todd says, nice, Paul. You're rich in spirit. Paul says he's from the Midwest. Okay, good deal. And again, thank you, Paul. We certainly appreciate it. Certainly do. Kevin says, sometimes it's hard to tell, and Mike can give us an idea. Q, once making a vlog between editing and YouTube approving, what's the time frame it takes to get posted? Like 1 to 3 days after making the vid? It kind of depends, Kevin. Before, what's the time frame? So 1 to 3 times after making. So making the video can take us a week because we're gathering information. And so, you know, we're doing constantly different things. Secondarily to that, editing doesn't really take long on ours, to be honest with you. I can be done editing in under an hour. All right. So then you post it. And at that point, YouTube either approves it or demonetize it. If you fight the demonetization, it's generally 1 to 3 days before they actually approve it. And by then, you know, it's already lost. All the views you get are in the first 24 hours. That's the biggest thing, unless it's got something really controversial. If it's not monetized. Yeah, 1 to 3 days. Paul says, you're welcome. Well, thank you again, Paul. I can't express how grateful we are. Chris, yeah, Adrian is a great guy. Yeah, Adrian is a really good guy. I actually, I felt bad. When I first met Adrian, he was on one of those old Nokia, you know, where, you know, number one is A, B, C, number two, not a smartphone. And I felt bad. I actually gave Adrian money and said, go buy a smartphone. And he did. And it's gone from there. Adrian is a great guy. Paul says, I've been to Cebu twice, specifically Danbantayan 2008 and 2010. Well, then, Paul, maybe it's time for another trip. What do you think? Hector says, have you heard of a channel called The Philippines Truth? Talk about stinging criticism of the Philippines way of life and its people. Yeah. You know what? Somebody, and it may have been you, Hector, that made a comment in one of our videos about it. And I haven't been to look at it yet. But you know what? I can make a stinging criticism of life in any country. All right? It's easy enough to do. People should learn to quit complaining. Quit. You know what? If you don't like it, then leave. If you were stupid, if you came here without checking it out, and then you want to blame the Philippines for not meeting your dreams, that's, your own foolish pursuit there. It really is. Todd says, become a member today, $1.99 per month. Yes. And Todd's talking about we now have channel memberships. And within the channel members there'll be one exclusive. I'm not going to make a video, put it in the members area, and then 3 days later, put it in the general area. The videos we make for members will be in the members area only. Only members will get access to those. And once a week, we're trying to figure out when it's going to be best to do a live stream. Now, that being said, we're not going to change anything we do in the normal channel. And we certainly don't want anybody to become a member or pay for something that they either don't agree with or don't afford or isn't within their financial means. We just won't do it. We're doing it because YouTube says that this is the future, and we want to be prepared for it. But thank you, Todd. Thank you for the shout out. Paul Bax, could be, never know. Bookum, Dano, and Pina. Shout out from Tarlac. Great show. Nobody said they love you today. We love you both. Well, thank you, Dano, and your beautiful bride. We really appreciate it. Bookum Dano's been a part of the channel for a long time in the comments. And, we get a lot of good advice from our subscribers. There's no doubt about it. Todd, it's not perfect, but it's a beautiful country with even more beautiful people. It is. Todd's absolutely correct. There is beauty everywhere. No, it's not perfect, but it's still a beautiful place with beautiful people. Mike, enjoy the live. See you next time. Mike, have a great night. Thanks for joining. We really appreciate it. Hector says he has a bone to pick. That's why. He said his wife wouldn't let him take their kid to the States, and that's why he's there. Well, you know what? That becomes part of a personal issue, and that is something we try and stay out of, actually. We try. Don't get me wrong. You've seen it. You've seen us post about drama. You've seen us become involved in drama. You've seen us voice our opinion that causes drama. That being said, I got to tell you, if I ever were to be in an argument with Arlen, it certainly isn't something that I would put on our channel. I would not be telling people how because there's two sides to every story. How do you know it's not him being an asshole and not her? So, no, I just wouldn't do it. The one that in Missing from West WS has been seen a long time is Hannah, the tattoo guy. The one in Missing from Walking Street, not missing, is the Hannah tattoo guy. Hannah, yeah. Usually he's in Astro Park at night and beside Adrian in the down by Cosplay and Shooters. Yeah, I haven't seen him around. I really haven't. But Tonga's coffee is the best I've found. It is great. James is absolutely correct. Later, Mike. Take care, Todd. We hope you have a great day. We really and truly do. So, what about any other interesting subjects? Anybody else have something else they'd like to discuss? Or do you have any good gossip for us? Or even do you have maybe an idea for another topic for us to do a video on? We would certainly look at it, that's for sure. Thing like airing out your dirty laundry to the world. Yeah, Florida man, you're absolutely correct. I mean, I just don't see the benefit of blaming somebody for my misfortune. Most of a person's misfortune is brought upon them by themselves. I'm not saying others aren't assholes and stuff like that, but yeah, without a doubt, it gets like that and there's nothing you can really do. Kevin, here's a question. The cafe next to Envy looks like cheesecake and coffee, but I hear it's pricey. You know what? It is a little pricey, Kevin. Excuse me. My throat's getting dry. It is a little pricey, but they have excellent coffee. They really and truly do. And what did I have there one night? I had a snack there one evening. Oh, that was back when I did the video about counting the number of Koreans coming onto Walking Street and the number of Americans coming onto Walking Street. And so I was sitting there because it's right there at the entrance to Walking Street. And I was counting Koreans and did the whole thing. There's a video on it. I had a snack, but their coffee is very, very good. James says, yes, it's grown in southern Luzon, and it is good. Take a trip down to Naga City in the Bicol region and do a collab with the Old Canoe. You know what? I have been talking to Robert, the Old Canoe, about doing a collab. And we have discussed it, a time where either I bring him on my channel or he brings me on his, whatever ones he wants. And we could do it by video or we could do it in person. But yeah, definitely talk. I love Robert. I think he is an interesting, smart guy. And man, the guy can really, his voice is incredible. My middle-aged adventures. What is the good hotel to stay there that's not too expensive but not a dump? And I would like to stay near Walking Street. I would say there are several. Wild Orchid. Now there's two of those. You want to choose the one that's on actually on A Santos, which is going to be about 50 yards down the street from Tequila Reef and about 80 yards to Walking Street. Okay? And that's one of them. And then there are others, but if that's, you want to be close, if you want to step down a little bit, there's Scorebirds. They have Scorebirds is okay, but it depends on what you like. It really does. Second, at Daniel's suggestion, collab with Robert. Y'all can meet in Manila somewhere. Oh my gosh. Wow. Another super sticker. Wow, Brewmeister. Thank you so much. Man, we're going to have a lot of Halloween candy for the kids now. Baby Lemon jumping in our lemon character's arms to hug him. Wow. So sweet. Yeah, this is all going to go towards candy out on Walking Street for Halloween. And we thank you so much, Brewmeister. Really and truly we do. I can't express the thanks enough. Hector says the guy has now created drama with a Filipino that created a channel to counter him. The expat is accusing him of stealing his content. Huh? You know what? I don't know. I really don't. I don't watch it. Like I said, we try and stay out of the drama. Although occasionally we do get in it. James says any place here that is good food is pricey, is not cheap. Eating out here unless you eat like a local. Absolutely. In fact, Arlene's birthday is next week, and our anniversary is later on down the road. And I'm trying to think to her. I made a suggestion as to where to go for dinner. And she goes, oh, so expensive. And I'm like, sweetheart, it's your birthday. You know, you're worth it to me. So we'll see where we end up going for dinner. I don't know. Nice brew, Todd says. Far East Poppy is doing 900 peso again per night with 200 peso credit to the restaurant. So 700 peso a night. Yeah, Kevin. And it's a 100. It's about a 5-minute trike ride from Poppy's to, in traffic, from Poppy's to or the Drake Hotel and Poppy's Grill and Chill, which has excellent food, I might add. Excellent food. 100 pesos gets you to Walking Street, 100 pesos gets you back, and very reputable people. Kevin says it's a bit of a walk, not bad to Walking Street, but you definitely save money and great food. Yeah, I would not recommend that walk at night. Just because there's a little stretch in that walk that I wouldn't want to, it's just not well lit. And the sidewalks aren't even here. And if you've been drinking, take a fall. I wouldn't recommend walking back at night. Michael says, I just booked all my flights, Philippines, and my trip next week. Great, Mike. Wow. Kevin, he can't be making much of a profit at those prices. I don't know, James. Have no idea. I know I know them. Actually, it was Marcy that encouraged me to start a YouTube channel. All right. We met Eric and Marcy long time ago. And it was Marcy that actually encouraged us to start a YouTube channel. Kevin, Far East Poppies also has the e-bike that yeah, it's going to be like, that should be like what's the best word for it? A historical piece of Angeles City. Copal says, definitely worth a trip to Poppy's to see the Tesla chopper. Not. Why? Come on, Copal. You know what? I think you want to go there and sit on the Tesla chopper and have your photo taken. Any thoughts on the latest shit disturber for vloggers, secret name, the name of the channel? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Paul. Is there a channel named Secret Name or something like that? I mean, there's always somebody that's a pain in the ass to somebody. But I mean, we get very little of a. We have very few trolls, to be honest with you. Kevin says, I think that you figure in a hotel that any room occupied is making more profit than on non-occupied. Besides, they get you to eat at the restaurant. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the rooms are like a lost leader. There you go. Have a nice day. I've stayed at the Wild Orchid Resort for all 15 trips in Angeles. Great hotel. Very girl-friendly. Had 5 girls in the room. Partied all night. Never said a word. Yeah, I don't know how girl-friendly they are, but I can tell you they have a good restaurant. They have a great outside bar. They have bar service to tables and such, and a nice pool. So Michael says, I see flights are not as cheap as they were 5 years ago. One-way ticket now around $120. Flights where, Michael, for 120? I'm not sure what you mean, Mike. Can you do a comparison? Hector wants to know between S&R and Costco of typical items purchased by a typical American family. Costco prices are online, but S&R requires you to go sign. I can, and in fact, I'm sure we're going to end up at S&R some point, either late this week or early next week. And certainly, yeah, I certainly can. Now, keep in mind, we can't find all the things you will get at S&R. Okay, like sometimes they have cottage cheese, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have, all kinds of things. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. But yeah, we can, certainly. I'll be happy to, Hector. Paul says, yes, there is. Some guy with shades on talking shit. Not on you, but other vloggers. Who are we talking about, Paul? Yeah, I mean, we're a pretty liberal channel. Don't be afraid to say it. That's for sure. I laughed so hard. James says, I laughed so hard when he gave the chopper the paint job. You know what, James? I'm not sure. I laughed. I cried. I shook my head. I'm not exactly sure. But it was, I was like, man, if he ever thought he was going to sell that thing because he wasn't happy with it, spray painting it wasn't going to help. Hector, I tried doing a budget of what I would buy at S&R there compared to Costco here, but S&R prices are not viewable. You know what, Hector? If you want, if you can email me a list of the things that you would normally buy, we can see what we can find at S&R that matches or comes close to that. Cebu to Diplog, $120 US dollars. It was around 65 one way. Okay. All right, Michael, now I understand. The secret name is in the channel. Okay. Well, Paul, I just don't know. The only blogger I know that routinely wears sunglasses while he blogs is Philly in the Philippines. Is that who you're talking about? Copal says, Overstay owns his redneckness. Gotta love his style. Oh, there we go. There you go. Have a nice day. He's talking about Philly in the Philippines. Yes. Now, I know Brian. I run into him 2 to 3 times a week at Tequila Reef for breakfast because I go to Tequila Reef for breakfast 2 to 3 times a week. I run into Brian down there on and off. No, Paul says, no, sir. That's not who he's talking about. Maybe. This is a new channel. Okay. And I'm sorry, Paul. We're just not real big drama folks, so we may not. Oh, are you talking about Big Joe? Is that the guy you're talking about? That's the only other blogger I think we've mentioned. Maybe that's a possibility. It's possible. But anyways, Hector, if you send me that email, be happy to try and get some sort of close comparison. Paul says this is a new channel. Is it here in Angeles, Paul? Or is it in a different city? We're playing 20 questions here, and I think we're losing. Michael, just a heads up, booked directly on Cebu Pacific Air. My trip was $100 cheaper than on PAL booking through Expedia. Yeah. We will. Okay, so Paul says no. I will email you a link. Well, thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it. I'd like to know and at least take a look at it. Maybe I've missed it. And Michael is absolutely correct. I can book directly on Cebu Pacific, and it's cheaper than Expedia. Copal says, I've seen a few of his videos. I think the secret name goes after Jasper. I don't know. You know what, Paul? Now I am totally at a loss because I don't remember anybody's avatar where the face is hidden by a microphone. Well, I tell you what, Paul, if you'll send me a link in our email, I'll look it up. Wow, Dano and Pine, super chat, $5. Wow, thank you so much. This has been our biggest day ever for super chats. That's amazing, absolutely amazing, and it couldn't come at a better time. Really and truly, it couldn't. I think what we're going to do this year is we're going to buy a lot of candy, but then we're going to buy little containers and put a little bit of candy in each container and then give them to the kids. But I'm worried that they're going to open the containers, eat the candy, and then throw the containers all over the street. And so we're kind of worried about that a little bit because a lot of these kids, man, they don't get candies and sweets. They come from families that don't have they don't have a budget for that kind of stuff. Paul says this is not Jeopardy. Just say it. Book them. Absolutely. Dano and Pine, so grateful. So grateful. We're going to stock them up on candy. The one thing we don't do is we don't buy chocolate much. Now, we'll buy candies that have some chocolate, but not so much. Only because it gets so hot out there, it melts and it's all over the place. So we try not to do that too much. And just so you know, we will probably be either doing it from the front of Excess, or we'll be doing it from, sorry about that. I didn't mean for that button to hit. We'll be doing it from the front of Excess, or we'll be doing it from the front of Lucifer. I don't think we'll do it from the front of Kokomo's, but we'll see. Either way. Michael says, the one thing I have issues with is you can't book out ferry boats as far out as flights in the Philippines. They need to get better ferry boat online, booking for better tourist attraction. Yes, Michael's absolutely correct. We've had a couple problems with that in the past. There you go. Have a nice day. Search secret name Philippines. Okay. That'll be interesting. I'll try. Says, it appears the guy's a Jasper hater. You know what? Everybody's going to have their haters. That's for sure. Secret name questions Jasper's sexuality seems to be nut riding to me. You know, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't understand. I mean, I understand Jasper gets under people's skin. He has a strong attitude. He has a strong personality. and he's not afraid to say it. All right? But at the same time, he's entitled to that. And why you would hate somebody for doing it is just beyond me. I just don't get it. California Bear says, will it be live or video of the candy handouts? It'll be video. It'll be video. We're not going to carry enough equipment and stuff down there to try and get, because internet up and down that street can be hit and miss. So, no. Stay humble. Sup, dude? How you doing, Stay Humble? Welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Where are you from? Paul says, looks like he hates more than one guy. I sent you the link via email. Thank you so much, Paul. I'll take a look at it first chance I get. I really and truly will, because you've got my interest peaked in this now. That's for sure. Stay humble. I could probably help you out with tourism stuff. I don't need anything from you either in terms of money or whatever. Just wanted to honestly network. I'm a dive instructor. Wow. You know what? We're not, I don't dive anymore. When I threw a embolism, actually I had a very significant issue. I threw a pulmonary embolism that lodged in my heart and gave me a heart attack on the plane flying back from Manila to LA years ago. And I can't dive anymore because of that, to be honest with you. But we're always happy to help promote everybody. That's for sure. There you go. Jasper reminds me of Trump. Tells a story, completely a lie, then 2 months later denies he ever said it. Did I just say that? Oops. You're entitled to your opinion. You are absolutely entitled to your opinion. Okay? BT and Betty, how you doing there, BT? How's life treating you? Unfortunately, the guy is not providing a lot of info. Just seems to be hating on people without a lot of facts. Just speculation or stuff he has heard on the internet. You know, Paul, we see that happen. Over the years, we've seen that happen quite a bit. There are just people like that, Paul, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You know, some people are just lonely in their lives and want to be the center of attention. Stay humble. I live in the NCR, more south though. Okay, cool. Michael says, does anyone know if Seaside Mall in Cebu is open after the flooding? I didn't even know it flooded. But then we're not in Cebu. I got no idea, Mike. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. BT, headed up to Palawan. See you in a couple weeks. Okay. You and Betty have a great trip, BT. Hope you have fun. Take care. Are you flying out of Clark or are you going to fly out of Manila, just out of curiosity? I'd be interested to know. So, yeah, I you know what? There are just assholes everywhere. We certainly, you know what? We've never had a problem with Jasper. That's just all I can say. He's been a pretty upfront, legitimate guy with us. That's for sure. Stay humble. My only rule with foreigners visiting my country, whether for girls or whatever, just don't be disrespectful to the locals. You could do a lot of things in front of me, but disrespect is not one. And you know what? Stay humble. You're correct. And respect is something that you just got to do. You really and truly got to do it. You have to respect the people. Paul says, I don't mind opinions on opinions, but speculating on opinion based on what the internet. No, Paul, I agree. I truly do. I think that first off, I think that what a person's sexuality is nobody's. It's no big deal. I don't give a shit, and I don't think other people should really. I could care less. Why would anybody want to speculate on somebody's sexuality? Are they jealous of it? Are they threatened by it? I got no idea. BT and Betty's Adventures, yes, out of Clark. Nice. Nice. So will you is that a nonstop from Clark to Palawan? Or do you have to stop in like Cebu? There you go. Have a nice day. You're right, Mike. Misery loves company. Yep, indeed. Stay humble. Ha ha. See booty. TT. BT said it's a pretty affordable flight. Great. Great. Wow. 50 likes so far today, which is exceptional for us, such a small channel. And we at one time we had like 47 people in the channel. I mean, we've done well, really, really well. People have joined our membership, which we really appreciate. People becoming a member of the channel. And we even got more super chats today than we've ever gotten. So I was like, just so surprised. Wow, 51 likes. Pretty affordable, BT says. Non-stop to Puerto Princesa, 1 hour, 10 minutes. Chris says, I know why Henna Tattoo Guy doesn't show himself anymore at the hot spot. Oh, really? I don't know why, Chris. I'm not really familiar. I don't go over there to the hot spot. Sometimes I'll stop by just to say hello to Adrian, but I don't hang out there. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't. California Bear, the 5 p.m. PST works out well. I'm glad it does. And I may try and do members only, and then I may try and do subscribers and members back to back. 56.70 exchange on $5. Hey, you know what? Every bit works. It really and truly does. There you go. BT, is that 2 L's in Philippines? Wow. I'm telling you. So, all right. So if nobody's got anything else to questions or anything else that you guys want us to look into, wow, 55 likes. Unbelievable. But if nobody has anything else, then we're going to wrap it up and try and finish off the video that we're doing and get ready to post the members video that goes into the members section this afternoon, evening. Chris says, a reliable source told me he's an alcoholic and shabu user. He even borrowed money from Adrian and Chubbs that never showed up to pay them back. Borrowing and asking money are two different things. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've never met the guy. I don't know anything about him. Certainly there are people that are alcoholics and drug addicts. We see them. Well, actually, we don't. We really don't see them. We don't see them much at all. But they are around, without a doubt. But they're around in the U.S. They're around in Australia. It doesn't end there. That's for sure. Florida man, you guys have a great night. Todd, great live, Mike and Arlen. Thank you, Todd. All right, take care. All right, I hope you have a great night. Stay Stay humble. I'll email you and we can network up. Great. Be happy to. Copal, have a great day. You guys do as well. And so with that, we're going to cut this out and we're going to say, number one, thank you so much for those of you that joined as members today. We really appreciate showing that, appreciation for our channel. And then number two, thank you for being in the live stream. And then number three, thank you for everything. The super chats, the memberships, being in the channel, being part of this community. We really appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we hope you take care.